What are they saying about that hit to his draft stock?
Well, on the field, he has the physical tools and the on-the-field leadership to be a number 1 overall pick. I mean, he's that talented, and while he makes a lot of mistakes and has poor decision and immaturity off the field, on the field, the leadership they like. But I've talked to somewhere between 10 and 15 NFL scouts and general managers, and they've all said, at the end of the day, this is going to hurt him. And there's more in the NFL, I'd say, today than ever before. There's concern about what you're bringing into your team and all of the off-the-field issues, and obviously the microscope that is on these players and their behavior. And listen, I can have a wide receiver that makes some bad decisions, and I can deal with it. I can have a linebacker that's a bonehead, and I can deal with it. I can have a defensive lineman that's an absolute psycho, and we'll figure it out. You can't have a quarterback that has multiple incidents and issues. And I think a lot of teams are going to have to, that are faced with this decision, sitting there in the top 10 picks overall, knowing that they need a quarterback and that Jameis Winston can be the leader on the field and can be the guy that they need him to be from a talent perspective, but then pass on him because they're concerned that he can't be the face of the franchise. Everyone in the league is saying the right thing right now that I've talked to in terms of, hey, it's going to affect him and we would probably pass if we were in that situation. It's going to be interesting to see when a team is actually in that situation, if they will live up to it. I think ultimately a big part of this will be the psychological testing that goes on pre-draft. If he is, in fact, part of the 2015 draft, if he passes a psychological test, then a team may be able to say, you know what, it's okay, we'll bring him in. But if he fails a psychological test, for most teams, that means he's off the board or we wouldn't take him until the later rounds.
Trevor, if you're one of these NFL teams, where are you drafting Jameis Winston?
Not in the first or second round. I don't care what the grade is. Not first or third or below, I'd take the risk. Here's the thing. I don't think Jameis Winston is a leader. I think he's persuasive. There's a difference. A leader will hold his teammates to accountability and then hold himself to the same or higher standards. And Jameis seems to be in his teammates' face, but then holding himself to a completely different standard off the field. And you can get away with that in college. But in the NFL, I played with guys that will not put up with that. I mean, he'll get into some of those grizzled veterans' face and try to tell them what they need to be doing. And if he hasn't earned the right yet, he'll be eating strained peas for a month. So this is the kind of thing that plays differently in an NFL locker room than it does with a bunch of college kids.
And ultimately, teams have to figure out, is this immaturity? Is it just bad decision-making by a college kid? Or is there something psychologically wrong with him that's going to affect his maturity and his maturing process and affect his ability to be the leader we need him to be on and off the field?